it's Jennifer Priest, and today I'm going to share with you how to make these fun Valentine cards and Valentine pockets using the Sizzix Big Shot machine. Now with these cards, I die cut a bunch of different materials to make these. I used cardstock, some wood veneer papers from ARC Crafts, felt from Kunin Group, and fabric. So one of the things that I really like about the Sizzix Big Shot is that you can cut all different types of materials. So it doesn't have to just be paper, you can cut cardstock, chipboard, wood veneer paper, and even fabric. So I'm going to show you how to do that on this video, as well as how to put together these really cute heart pocket Valentines. So let's get started. First, you're going to cut a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock into two 6 by 12 pieces. Then you're going to put down a cutting pad, put the die on top face up, lay the paper on top of that, and then put the other cutting pad up over the top of that to make the die cutting sandwich. Run that through the Sizzix Big Shot and it will die cut the card and the banner using this really awesome A2 sized card die from EchoPark and Sizzix. So you want to dust off any little scraggly pieces that might be on there. Next, I'm going to use some wood veneer paper. So the Sizzix will also cut wood veneer besides just cutting cardstock. So I want this to be an insert in the front of the card that's going to go behind those diagonal stripes. So I'm just laying the wood paper over that section of the die and then running it through the Big Shot again. So it's just going to cut out that one piece that goes behind the diagonal stripes on the front of the card. So you can see how that fits in right here. Next, I'm using some more wood veneer paper to cut out another inside or insert in the front of the card, plus the banner that's going to go across some of the heart pockets and some of the Valentine cards. I love that you can use small scraps of paper or whatever you're working with to die cut with the Sizzix. So you can just match them up to the shape on the actual die and it will die cut that out of whatever scrap you have. Next, add the inserts to the insides of the card fronts and set those aside. And now we're going to die cut some different elements that we're going to use to decorate the cards. So this is the Love Silhouettes die from EchoPark, and I've just taken a piece of fabric and folded it up to cover the two hearts that are on the bottom of the die. Run that through the Sizzix Big Shot machine and it's going to cut all those layers all at once. I actually saw this trick at the Road to California quilt show when I went and visited the Sizzix booth. This is how they use the quilting dies, as they fold up the fabric and then cut a bunch of different triangles or shapes or whatever all at the same time. Now I'm using a piece of Kunin Group felt. This is the 9 by 12 Eco 5 felt, and I just cut it in half. A half sheet works great for most of the Sizzix Bigs dies, and I'm just running that again through the Sizzix Big Shot. Now, if the felt doesn't match up to your die all the way, you can kind of stretch it out a little bit, and that's what I did there to make the felt fit the die. Finally, I'm going to cut out these heart pockets. This is the EchoPark die, and I just took a 6 by 12 paper, folded it in half so I could cut the front and the back of the card at the same time, or front and back of the pocket. Here's a little tip. Take your scraps and use some ink or whatever to test out on there. So if you want to stamp and see how the ink looks or ink the edges and test that out first, test it on the scrap that was left over from your die cutting. I inked the edges of this heart and then I folded up the little tabs that are cut from the die, and I'm adding some tape there. This is just a double-sided tape. You can use red line tape or any double-sided tape. I'm peeling away the backing and then matching the two pieces of the heart pocket together, pressing the tabs together really, really well. You can also do this with hot glue if you want it to hold super, super good. And that forms the pocket. Next, I'm going to do all the decorating. So I've die cut all the different elements, the banners, the silhouettes, the hearts, out of different materials. So I have some out of felt, some out of wood veneer, some from cardstock, and some from fabric. And I'm just layering those together to give a very textural look to these little heart pockets. I'm also adding little bits of buttons, pins, and lace underneath and around the items to give them a more like fun Victorian kind of shabby chic look. Now this is some cool stuff I just got last year from CHA. This is from a company called ARC Crafts, and they do this wood veneer tape. They also make the wood veneer paper that I'm using here in this video. And I took the tape and I cut a little banner from it, but I didn't want the whole back to be sticky and exposed. So I used my scissors to cut away just a part of the sticker backing and then put that onto my heart pocket. This way the little ends of that banner are not going to be sticky and I can give it and I won't have to worry about it sticking to anybody. You can ink the edges of things if you want to give them more of a shabby chic or distressed look. I just inked a few little things on here. I didn't want it to be too like grungy. So again, I'm just adding a banner that I die cut from some cardstock using that A2 Echo Park diagonal stripes card die. And then I took some of the hearts that are stacked, like the stacked fabric hearts, and I stitched them together loosely to make these kind of dimensional stacks of fabric hearts. And I added those to the fronts of the pockets. And I also added some little like plastic acrylic chandelier crystals that I stitched to the bottom of those hearts. And also later I'm going to stitch one to the bottom of one of the heart pockets. So you can use just a needle and thread to stitch those things together. So I'm just layering my embellishments, giving it a lot of texture. And then I'm also stamping some sentiments. I have these very, very tiny little alphabet stamps, and I'm just stamping some words on there to kind of give it a little bit more of a context. So again, layering some lace, then the wood veneer, then a button, and I'm stitching an acrylic chandelier pendant down there on the bottom. And then again, adding the stamping for the sentiment. So I like how all the different textures go together, and you can die cut all of those things with the Sizzix Big Shot machine, which makes it super fun. So here I'm just gluing my wood veneer fronts inside those diagonal stripe cards, and then I'm going to decorate them once those are all glued together. So I like layering different die cuts. So here I'm layering a cardstock die cut, and then I'm putting this wood veneer die cut on the top. Xavier was like, why don't I put Would You Be Mine and play off of the wood idea? So I did that, which is kind of cheesy, but it's kind of cute since it is wood paper. Next, I added a wood silhouette with some felt hearts. Again, just playing with all the different textures on these mostly monochromatic cards. And here you can see I'm just kind of finishing up the rest of my cards. And I decided, you know, these don't have to just be Valentine cards. So this woman card that I'm making here on the right says strong, and I'm going to give that to a friend who's going through some hard times right now. So you can definitely use these for all different types of things, not just for Valentine's Day, even though the die is called Love Silhouettes. So I hope that you enjoyed this project or these projects. We made 3 cards, 3 heart pockets, and had a lot of fun while doing it. Please let me know in the comment section if you liked this project. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I'd love it if you hit the button to subscribe down below the video. Now, if you're watching this on the Sizzix blog, please leave a comment on the blog and let us know what you think about this project and what other projects you'd like to see in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!